Aragon is an autonomous community in Spain, coextensive with the medieval Kingdom of Aragon. Located in northeastern Spain, the Aragonese Autonomous Community comprises three provinces: Huescar, Zaragoza, and Teruel. Its capital is Zaragoza. The current Statute of Autonomy declares Aragon a nationality of Spain. Aragon's northern province of Huescar borders France and is positioned in the middle of the Pyrenees. Within Spain, the community is flanked by Catalonia to the east, Valencia and Castile-La Mancha to the south, and Castile and León, La Rioja, and Navarre to the west, covering an area of 47,719 square kilometers. The region's terrain ranges diversely from permanent glaciers to verdant valleys, rich pasture lands and orchards, through to the arid steppe plains of the central lowlands. Aragon is home to many rivers, most notably, the River Ebro, Spain's largest river in volume, which runs west-east across the entire region through the province of Zaragoza. It is also home to the Aneto, the highest mountain in the Pyrenees. As of 2012, the population of Aragon was 1,349,467, with slightly more than half of it living in Zaragoza, its capital city. The economy of Aragon generates a GDP of €33,252 million, which represents 5% of Spain's national GDP, and is currently fifth in per capita production behind Basque Country, Madrid, Navarre and Catalonia. In addition to its three provinces, Aragon is subdivided into 33 comarca or counties, all with a rich geopolitical and cultural history from its pre-Roman, Celtic and Roman days, and from the 4 centuries of Islamic period as Marca Superior of Al-Andalus or Kingdom of Sarakistar, and as lands that once belonged to the Frankish Marca Hispanica, and counties that later formed the Kingdom of Aragon and eventually, the Empire or Crown of Aragon. Demographics. Population. As of 2006, half of Aragon's population, 50.8%, live in the capital city of Zaragoza. Huescar is the only other city in the region with a population greater than 50,000. The majority of Aragonese citizens, 71.8%, live in the province of Zaragoza, 17.1% in Huescar and 11.1% in Teruel. The population density of the region is the second lowest in Spain, only 26.8 per square kilometers, after Castilla-La Mancha. The most densely populated areas are around the valley of the River Ebro, particularly around Zaragoza, and in the Pyrenean foothills, while the areas with the fewest inhabitants tend to be those that are higher up in the Pyrenean mountains. And in most of the southern province of Teruel, only 4 cities have more than 20,000 inhabitants. Zaragoza 700,000, Huescar 50,000, Teruel 35,000 and Calatayud 20,000. Language. Spanish is the native language in most of Aragon, and it is the only official language, understood and spoken by virtually everyone in the region. In addition to it, the Aragonese language continues to be spoken in several local varieties in the mountainous northern counties of the Pyrenees, particularly in western Ribatejo, Sobrarbe, Jacetania and Somontano. It is enjoying a resurgence of popularity as a tool for regional identity. In the easternmost areas of Aragon, along the border with Catalonia, varieties of the Catalan language are spoken, including the comarca of eastern Ribatejo, La Litera, Bajo Cinca, Bajo Aragon Caspa, Bajo Aragon and Matarrana. The strip-shaped Catalan-speaking area in Aragon is often called La Franja. Geography. With such a low population density, large areas of Aragon remain wild and relatively untouched. It is a land of extreme natural contrasts, both in climate and geologically. From the green valleys and snow-capped peaks of the Pyrenees to the dry plains and lonely hilly areas of the south. Relief. Aragon's Pyrenees include splendid and varied mountain landscapes with soaring peaks, deep canyons, dense forests and spectacular waterfalls. Its rugged peaks include the Anito, the highest in the range, the misty Monte Perdido, Perdiguero, Coachella and many others. Ordesawa Monte Perdido National Park, near the border with France, boasts some of the most spectacular scenery in Europe with its canyons, frozen lake caverns, numerous waterfalls and varied wildlife, many species of which are endemic to the Pyrenees. The park is also one of the last sanctuaries of birds of prey in the range. Many beautiful mountain butterflies and flowers can be seen in the summer, while during winter the region is a paradise for skiers. The principal valleys in the mountains include those of Hecho, Canfranche, Tena, Benasque and others. The green valleys hide pretty villages with nice Romanesque churches and typical Pyrenean houses with flowers on the balconies. The oldest Romanesque cathedral in Spain is located in the medieval town of Jaca in the very northern part of Huesca province. In the Pyrenean foothills, or pre-Pyrenees, the Malos de Riglos are a famous natural rock formation. Ancient castles nest on lonely hills, the most famous being the magnificent Loara Castle. Further south, the Ebro Valley, irrigated by the river Ebro, is a rich and fertile agricultural area covered with vast fields of wheat, barley and other fruit and vegetable crops. Many beautiful and little-known settlements, castles and Roman ruins dot the landscape here. Some of the most notable towns here include Calatayud, Daracar, Esos del Rey Católico, Caspra, and others. South of Zaragoza and the Ebro Valley, the elevation rises again into the Sistema Iberico, a complex system of mountain ranges that separates the Ebro Valley from the Meseta Central and plains of Castile-La Mancha. The highest massif in this range is the Moncayo, and despite getting less snow than in the Pyrenees, it has several ski resorts. Climate: Aragon's climate can be defined as continental moderate. Temperatures are determined mainly by altitude, ranging from cold or very cold in winter and cool in summer in the mountains to the north and to the south and west, to mild in winter and hot in summer in the central lowlands. Rainfall is also very variable, with very low mean values in the central areas and increasingly higher values in mountain areas, especially in the High Pyrenees. In the middle of Aragon, which is only 200 meters above sea level, the annual average temperature is around 14 degrees Celsius. To the north and south of the Ebro Valley, where the elevation rises to 500 meters above sea level, the temperature drops by 2 degrees. In the mountains, between 600 meters and 1,000 meters, observed temperatures are between 11 and 12 degrees Celsius. The Cierzo wind is very common in the central area of Aragon, around the Ebro Valley, during the autumn and winter. Territorial Division: Aragon is divided into 3 provinces from north to south, named after their capitals, Huesca, Zaragoza and Teruel. The provinces are further divided into 33 comarca, 3 of which are in more than one province. There are a total of 732 municipalities in the region. History: Aragon is named after the Aragon River, a tributary of the Ebro. Formation of the kingdom: before Aragon came into being as a self-proclaimed kingdom in 1035, the northern counties of Jaca, Sobrarbe and Ribatejo were all counties and appanages suzerain to the Kingdom of Navarre. King Sancho set out on his will the primacy of Pamplona over all appanages including Castile, but his younger children set off on separate paths instead, establishing their own kingdoms. Ramiro I was for the first time named King of Aragon in 1035. Later, after his brother Gonzalo's death, he was also named King of Sobrarbe and Ribatejo in 1044. The new kingdom grew quickly, conquering territories from the Moorish kingdoms to the south. Huesca was taken in 1096 and Zaragoza in 1118. According to Aragonese law, the monarch had to swear allegiance to the kingdom's laws before being accepted as king. Like other Pyrenean and Basque realms, the Aragonese justice and decision-making system was based on Pyrenean consuetudinary law. The king was considered primus inter pares within the nobility. A nobleman with the title justiciar acted as ombudsman and was responsible for ensuring that the king obeyed the Aragonese laws. Union with the county of Barcelona and its dominions in the Languedoc. The dynastic union in 1137 between Petronila, Queen of Aragon, and Ramon Berenguer V, Count of Barcelona, produced a son, Alfonso II of Aragon, who inherited all their respective territories, creating the Crown of Aragon, which included all lands and people, titles and states previously outside of the Kingdom of Aragon. The Crown of Aragon was effectively abolished after the dynastic union with Castile, but the title continued to be used until 1714. The dynasty of the Kings of Aragon ruled the present administrative region of Aragon, Catalonia, and later the Balearic Islands, Valencia, Sicily, Naples and Sardinia. The monarch was known as King of Aragon and also held the titles of King of Valencia, King of Majorca, Count of Barcelona, Lord of Montpellier, and Duke of Athens and Neopatria. Each of these titles gave him sovereignty over the specific region, and the titles changed as territories were lost and won. Union with Castile. Despite the dynastic union with Castile following the marriage of Isabella I of Castile and Ferdinand II of Aragon at the end of the 15th century, following which most former kingdoms in Spain were progressively consolidated during the 16th and 17th centuries, Aragon lasted as a separate kingdom with its own laws and institutions until 1707, when Philip V, the first Bourbon king of Spain, invaded Aragon with his army and forced the signature of the Nueva Planta decrees, making Spain into a more centralized state and forcing the use of Castilian language. Under the Bourbon dynasty during the War of the Spanish Succession, the advancing army of German, British and Dutch troops defeated the Spanish army in the Battle of Saragossa in 1710. As a result of the battle, Philip V was forced to abandon Madrid, retreating to Valladolid. During the Peninsular War, the Aragonese capital was the site of two fierce sieges. During the siege in 1808, the Spanish under General Palafox defeated a superior French force. In 1809, during a particularly bloody siege, the Spaniards were overwhelmed by superior enemy forces. Almost 30,000 of the garrison and citizens of Zaragoza perished rather than surrender the city. 2 weeks after they breached the walls, the French were still forced to fight for each house, square, church and convent. Modern history. During the Spanish Civil War, Aragon saw the establishment of various anarchist communes. The particularly harsh winter of 1937 to 1938 saw the Battle of Teruel, one of the most bloody of the war, which ended in a nationalist victory. In 1982, Aragon became an autonomous community within the new Spanish democratic state. In summer 2008, the International Exposition of Expo 2008 was held in Zaragoza. Symbols. The current coat of arms of Aragon was first documented in 1499. Its fourth quarter, the coat of arms of the Crown of Aragon, features on the coat of arms of Spain, as well as the flags and heraldry of several territories in Spain and abroad which were ruled by the Crown of Aragon, such as Catalonia, the Balearic Islands and Languedoc-Roussillon. The flag of modern Aragon, adopted in 1983, has the arms over the crown arms. The official Aragonese anthem is the Himno de Aragon, with music composed by the Aragonese Anton Garcia Abril and lyrics by various poets of the region. It is sung in Spanish with no official translation into Aragonese or Catalan. Aragon Day is celebrated on the 23rd of April, St. George's Day, the patron of Aragon since the 15th century. The flag is made in flowers in the Plaza de Aragon in the capital, Zaragoza. Culture. Some medieval monuments of Teruel and Zaragoza are protected by UNESCO as part of the World Heritage Sites. Mudéjar architecture of Aragon. The traditional dance of Aragon is known as jota and is one of the faster Spanish dances. It is also the most widespread in Aragon, and the exact style and music depend on the area. There are other less popular dances named palateaus, similar to the sword, stick dances of other regions. The music to one local dance, the Dance of Majordomos, of Benasque, was so enjoyed by Rafael del Rigo on a visit to the town that he ordered it to be copied, resulting in the Hymn of Rigo. Typical Aragonese instruments include the string drum or chicotain, bagpipes such as the gaita de bota, oboes such as the dolzini, and small flutes like the chiflo. Some instruments have been lost, such as the trompa de Ribatejar, although there have been efforts to reconstruct them. In contrast to other Pyrenean regions, the chicotain and chiflo never have stopped being played. The Carnival of Bielsa has ancient origins and includes a group of men carrying long sticks, wearing skirts, cowbells and boucard, goat-like horns and skins with black painted faces called trangus, symbolizing virility, who surround another man wearing skins, playing the part of a bear called lonso. In Aragonese mythology, the bear carried souls between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Trangus dance with young females named madamas, symbolizing purity, and wearing colorful dresses. Other traditional figures include a horse rider named Cabalet. Cuisine, with its lush Pyrenean pastures, lamb, beef, and dairy products are, not surprisingly, predominant in Aragonese cuisine. Also of note is its ham from Teruel, olive oil from Empelta and Arbequina, longaniza from Graus, rainbow trout and salmon, boar, truffles and wild mushrooms from the upper river valleys of the Jacetania, Gallego, Sobrab, and Ribatejar regions, and wines from Caranena, Somontano, Calatayud, and Campo de Borja, and fruit, especially peaches, from its fertile lower valleys. The region also features a unique local haggis, known as kairita, several interesting seafood dishes, including various crab pastes, which developed from an old superstition that crabs help prevent illness, and sweets such as adraquines del Pilar and frutas de Aragon. There are also other sweets like tortas de alma from Teruel and trenza de Almodovar, or castanas de Huescar from Huescar. Economy. Aragon is among the richest autonomous regions in Spain, with GDP per capita above the nation's average. The traditional agriculture-based economy from the mid-20th century has been greatly transformed in the past several decades, and now service and industrial sectors are the backbone of the economy in the region. The well-developed irrigation system around the Ebro has greatly supported the productive agriculture. The most important crops include wheat, barley, rye, fruit and grapes. Livestock breeding is essential, especially in the northern areas, where the lush meadows provide excellent conditions for sheep and cattle. The main livestock are cattle 334,600, sheep 2,862,100, pigs 3,670,000, goats 78,000, and poultry 20,545,000. The chief industrial center is the capital Zaragoza, where the largest factories are located. The largest plant is the Opal Automotive plant with 8,730 employees and production of 200,000 per year. It supports many related industries in the area. Other large plants in the city include factories for trains and household appliances. Mining of iron ore and coal is developed to the south, near Ojos Negros. Electricity production is concentrated to the north, where numerous hydropower plants are located along the Pyrenean rivers and in the 1,150 megawatts Teruel power plant. There is an aluminium refinery in the town of Sabina Nigo. The main centers of electronics industry are Zaragoza, Huesca and Benabar. Chemical industry is developed in Zaragoza, Sabina Negro, Monzón, Teruel, Ojos Negros, Fraga, Benabar and others. The transport infrastructure has been greatly improved. There are more than 1,000 kilometers of motorways which run from Zaragoza to Madrid, Teruel, Basque Country, Huesca and Barcelona. The condition of the other roads is also good. As of 2005, there are 520,000 cars in Aragon. Through the territory of the province runs the new high-speed railway between Madrid and Barcelona with siding from Zaragoza to Huesca, which is going to be continued to the French border. There is an international airport at Zaragoza, as well as several smaller airports at Huesca, Cordy, Santa Cilia de Jaca and Villanueva de Gallego. Government and politics. Current political organization as an autonomous community of Spain, Aragon has an elected regional parliament with 67 seats. It meets in the Aljaferia, a Moorish palace in the capital city, Zaragoza. The parliament chooses a president for the Diputación General de Aragon or Aragon government, for a 4-year term. The current president is Javier Lamban of the PSOE. Nationally, Aragon elects 13 deputies and 14 senators to the Cortes Generales. In addition to the Spanish-based political parties, there are a number of Aragon-based parties, such as the Junta Aragonicista, a left-wing Aragonese nationalist party, and the Aragonese Party, more conservative. Junta Aragonicista had a seat in Spain's National Congress of Deputies from 2000 to 2008, while the centrist Aragonese Party has 3 national senators, who are in coalition with the ruling People's Party. In a 2011 regional government survey, 47.6% of the population wanted greater autonomy for Aragon, while 35.2% were satisfied with its current level of autonomy. A total of 6% wanted an end to autonomy and 3.2% wanted full independence. Historic Aragon in the Middle Ages was the hub of the wider Crown of Aragon. The crown was represented in the region from 1517 by a viceroy. In 1479, King Ferdinand II of Aragon married Isabella I of Castile, a kingdom covering much of the rest of modern Spain. However, until the Nueva Planta decrees of 1707, Aragon maintained its own separate laws and institutions.